What is up, everybody? Renfail here. I just wrapped up Aliens Dark Descent and I had a great time. Definitely better than I thought it was going to be. This was a Game Pass game that I played on the Xbox Series X. It's also at the same time, I believe, as of this recording, it's not only on Game Pass, it's also available on the PS Plus subscription. So regardless of which console ecosystem you have a subscription to, you can pick up this game and go play it if you want to. Uh, it took me for a spin in the beginning because I wasn't sure what I was going to get out of it, because the way the tutorial is presented, it's kind of like a top-down RTS. It starts off being like slow motion when you use your abilities, but you can go into a pause-based mode, and as soon as I figured out that I could do a pause-based gameplay, it sort of translated the game for me into a different way of playing, because I went, oh, this is real time with pause, just like all these other CRPGs I've played over the years. And even though it does have a slightly different control scheme, at least on the console, um, once I kind of navigated how to play the game, it became quite enjoyable from a sort of like a CRPG standpoint, with really fun cutscenes and pretty good voice acting. Just right out of the gate, I can say I'll give this game an 8 out of 10. There are a few things that I think took away from the experience, kept it from being slightly higher. Well, we're going to go through it all as we go through. But what was really interesting to me is, as I got to the end here, they actually have a New Game Plus mode, which I didn't anticipate this having, which you can actually go in here and it says, when starting New Game Plus campaign, you keep your Marines from the finished campaign. They keep their level, traits, attributes, and prostheses, but they lose everything else. Their maximum level is raised to 15 from 10, and you get a new upgrade slot at level 15, which is really, really cool. I honestly, not right now because I don't have the time right now, but I could totally see myself going back and playing this game again at some point down the road. I would need to track how many hours I put in total. I haven't actually looked. I know it was over 25. I don't know if it was 30. I'm going to go do a quick look at this really quick while we're talking. I'm going to pull this up because it wasn't a long playthrough. Let's see here. Aliens. And we'll show all. And we'll go through really quickly and look at all the games. Look at the live. Let's see. We had 12 sessions. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29. Oh, so right out, almost at 30. Okay, it was a little more than I thought. I thought it was up around like 26 or something. So right at 29 and a half hours, it looks like, for my total playthrough. So, I played it on easy mode. So if you played this on like normal mode or beyond, I could easily see this being a 40-hour game, depending on how deep you want to get into it. But I don't know if I can load. Let's just see where this puts me. Really quick. I was gonna see if I could. This is November 29th. No, this is the one I want. Yeah. This is the Xeno City one. We can reload. I just want to show a couple things off while we're doing the review here. I don't know where it's gonna put us in the final campaign here. Okay, so we're inside this final mission. Things I loved about this game. The aesthetic, in terms of how the game looks and feels. This particular end level, I think, nailed it entirely with like the way it looks. Like if you go back to the H.R. Geiger artwork from back in the day, the way they've got this final mission laid out in particular looks very much like those classic art. I remember the art book in Barnes & Noble back when I was a teenager, just being enthralled with that. But also going back and watching the original film, there are some moments in here that remind me of the original film, but mostly this reminds me of just the overall Aliens aesthetic from the second film. There's this creepy, look at this thing right here. Let's see if I can get over here. This creepy structure that we're looking at here. Like, the art team did a great job, and being able to like come in here and zoom in and look at all this stuff as your team goes through. Um, Artwork was great, the aesthetic was great, the music was amazing, the voice acting's pretty good. The dialogue was, standard like alien fare. It wasn't anything to like write home about. It might be going into a cutscene here, in which case, oh yeah, this is a big nasty that you're gonna have to fight at some point. And we'll just go ahead and let ourselves die here because I don't need to go any further. I just wanted to show you guys some stuff. It'll kill us. Our squad was killed in action. We can go forth from there. Go back to the main menu. The coolest part about this game to me is the fact that it actually made me feel like I was playing an Aliens game. It really made me feel like I was in the Aliens world. And I didn't expect it to do that because it was a top-down sort of CRPG game. But the way they combined with like really good cutscenes, and again, it's an art style, so it's not like super realistic graphics in the cutscenes. It's their own, definitely, it's their own art style here. And some people looked at the art during some of the cutscenes when I was streaming. I was like, oh, that art style, I don't like it. It looks like crap. It's like, it's not that it looks like crap. It's just, it's different. It's their own art style. So it's one of those things where as long as you can appreciate the art style that they chose, it looks great. It's no different than any other like anime. Like I don't personally love the Castlevania show on Netflix because I'm not a big fan of that art style, but it's nevertheless a good show with highly talented voice actors and a great storyline. So it's kind of one of those things there. The gameplay is extremely strategic with the squads that you have because you do have a range of, you have your sergeant, your medic, your gunner, your recon, and then I think it's techie is like the hacker. And then as you level your guys up, they get different abilities, and you get to choose how you want your abilities to play out. So it's like you can choose to spec guys a certain way. Then you get perks as you're leveling up to do things like give yourselves more hit points, give yourself more armor points, give yourself more ammo every time you reload, faster reload times. I ended up going like bravery as often as possible to try to keep my characters from stress levels from going through the roof, because that was another really interesting thing about this game is that you have to manage your Marines' stress levels on the missions and in between the missions. And like back on the ship, you've got quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. A med bay where not only do you have to send them in to see the doctor to heal their wounds, but they also can get traumas and they can develop phobias, and you have to send them to the psychologist. And then there's there's stress levels you have to manage during the missions and then after the missions, and then you can't use the same characters all the time. Like you're literally, you have a rotating team of Marines who you're sending out. So you have, in my case, I ended up having 3 teams of Marines, my A team, my B team, and my C team. I didn't use the C team that much because I played on easy mode, but I've been told that if you play on the harder levels, everybody gets leveled up because you're running them at multiple times. And then at some point around the halfway point, you actually get a doomsday timer that starts counting down on the entire planet. So there's sort of this clock that you're working against where you have to be, you can't be resting and like skipping deployment days too often because you will run out of time to complete the missions. So there's a lot going on in this game. It made it very complex. Hell of a lot of fun to play, way more than I thought. The only thing that took away from me personally was there was a bit of technical jank with the and I understand this is also on the Xbox Series S as well as X. I don't know about the PlayStation version because I didn't play this on the PS5. So if anybody's out there playing on the PS5, if you can confirm this or whatever. When it came to selecting Marines or selecting the abilities that they were going to use in any combat scenario, you're supposed to be using the bumpers to go through the selection, and it's not responsive. Like they've got some wonkiness in where like sometimes you'll click 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 and then it'll just stop, and you can click 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 and it won't do anything, and then you have to hold, and then all of a sudden it'll register that there's been a click and it'll move like 4 paces over. That was something that multiple people in the comments of my videos and the streams told me they saw as well on their Xboxes, both Series S and X. That's a technical performance issue, which I definitely knocked a point off for that. And then just there was some overall Again, great game, had a great time. There was some overall sort of jankiness with um, the way that some of the waypoints would work, but sometimes they would not work properly. Again, some technical jank going on, but overall, despite the technical jank, 8 out of 10 for me. Solid game. Highly recommend this if you haven't played this yet. If you have Xbox Game Pass or PS Plus, go pick it up. It's part of your subscription. And even if you don't, I think this is well worth your time to pick up. It came out last year, I believe, so it's about a year old now. I would love to see this team do a follow-up game to this. I don't know if there's any DLCs planned. I knew nothing about this game going into it. I just was like, ooh, an Aliens game on Game Pass. I'm going to go try it out. Really glad I did. If you missed any of the playthroughs, check the playlist down below. You can watch them all. In the meantime, I'm off to other things. We got a jam-packed 2025 ahead of us, so hopefully we'll see you for all those games. Daily streams happen on YouTube and Twitch because I multi-stream, and usually around 6 or 7 a.m. Central Time, so hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and happy gaming.